time for another iOS 18 beta video, and this week Apple just released iOS 18 beta 7. It looks like Apple's actually now releasing betas on a weekly basis rather than a bi-weekly basis, which is pretty interesting since beta 6 had just come out on August 12th, and beta 7 has now come out on August 19th, so just 1 week apart. So pretty interesting. And I would actually now expect beta 8 to probably come out around the 26th, again, which is a week from now. Anyway, this particular update is fairly small. So beta 7 doesn't really contain that many changes compared to previous betas. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the build number. And the build number is 22A5346A, and the A signifies that we are now getting closer to the final release candidate version, meaning that we are also very close to the official final release that would be releasing to the public. So that's great. It is still a little bit buggy in some areas, so there is definitely still work to be done. So I'm hoping that there is at least a couple more betas before the final, just to kind of work out some of those last minute kinks and glitches. So starting off with Control Center here, two things. So there is a new toggle for silent mode in the Control Center for the newer iPhones, possibly only available on the iPhone 15 Pro series of iPhone. However, it might be on the standard iPhone 15 models as well, but I can't actually test that because I don't have a 15 model phone right now. But what I can say is that that toggle is not available on the iPhone SE, which is the phone that I'm using. This is currently a second generation SE. And so if we go into Control Center and look for silent mode, you can see we just type silent and there's no results. So theoretically, assuming that that button is only for iPhones with an action button on them, so that's a possibility there. And next thing with Control Center isn't really anything new. It's just that the actual overall Control Center functionality seems to be a lot smoother and is a bit more refined than what it has been previously. In previous betas, the Control Center just has been very, very glitchy, very, very laggy, and just really not a pleasant experience to use. Like such as moving little icons around and expanding icons to grab them. You can resize them and everything. This one especially, the network connectivity icon was the most glitchy. It looks like it's actually a little bit better now. It doesn't seem to freak out as much. You can see it kind of expands basically how it should be, which is nice to see. So yeah, I'm really happy that that's kind of coming along and getting refined. Next is the phone app. When searching for a recent call contact, has new little call icons next to the phone number, which is kind of nice. So if I go to recents and if I hit search and start searching, you can see on the rightmost side here we have a little call button for all of the phone numbers on the left side of the screen. So the button on the right side allows you to just quickly tap that, straight away make a phone call. But when you're not in the search menu and you're just in the standard recents list, you just get a little eye icon on the right side and you don't have that little call button anymore. This next thing is involving an Emoji Keyboard again. So nothing really new to update here, since it's pretty much the same as it was in beta 6. And that's just to say that the frequently used section now works properly. Anytime you use an emoji and you frequently use it, it'll now properly show up in the frequently used section. And the overall look and design of the Emoji Keyboard is also effectively the exact same as it was that we had in iOS 17, or that we have currently rather in iOS 17 right now. And that is to say, I prefer it that way actually. I like to have the frequently used kind of on the leftmost portion of the menu, and then all the other icons selectable on the right. And having all the icons not as big as they were in some of the earlier betas. So that's nice. Next is the Multilingual Keyboard actually now functions properly, whereas in beta 6 and prior betas, it did not function properly. So if you go to Settings, and we go to General, and scroll down until we find Keyboard right there, and go into Keyboards, and we want to add a new keyboard. And currently, I believe it only works with the Spanish keyboard. I haven't tested others, but I do know that the Spanish keyboard works. So if we go and search for Spanish, Spanish Mexico, and then what you want to do here is you add it to English keyboard and make sure that's checkmarked. And then from there, let's go and jump back out, go into the Notes app. And as you can see straight away here, there's a little bit of a splash screen letting you know kind of how to use the multilingual keyboard. And you hit continue. And then straight away on the spacebar on the bottom right, you can see an EN and an ES. And that signifies that you have a multilingual keyboard activated. And from here, basically, you can just start typing text both in English and in Spanish. So if I start typing in Spanish, you can see hola. It'll immediately start giving predictive text for Spanish words, which is really cool. And it'll autocorrect for that particular language. However, then if I want to go back and type English and say, hola, how are you? So a multi-use, kind of multi-language, you can see the keyboard now changes and it has updated the predictive text to English, English words. So that is actually pretty cool, and it's really great that that is now functioning within the software. So next up is the tinting of the clock app widget on the home screen. So as you can see here in iOS 18 beta 6, the widget didn't actually properly tint properly. So as you can see, the background of the widget stays white, whereas the text is the only thing that gets tinted. Whereas what it should be doing is the background of the widget should actually become black, or dark colored rather, and then the text in the middle of it changed to that according tinted color that you have chosen. So this next thing here I cannot actually show because I don't have it set up on this particular phone, but fitness and workouts now function properly within the Activities app. So if you have an activity or workout that you're wanting to do, in beta 7 it now functions as it should, just like it would be in iOS 17 currently. Okay, next up here is involving wallpapers. So the iPhone 15 Pro wallpaper is still not available within iOS 18, even currently in beta 7. Not entirely sure why. Hopefully that will come back. Another thing you can notice is that the loading of the wallpapers in the customization menu in the Settings app is a little bit slow when you first open it. But if you go out and go back in, you can see it loads fairly quickly. So I'm not sure what that's about. That's just a little bit of, again, a glitch in the software. And hopefully that's just a slight performance improvement that can be made by the final release. Okay, another bug that has been reported by several people that doesn't seem to affect me for some reason is that the Tips app still doesn't seem to work entirely correctly. So for a lot of people right now, when they go to open the Tips app, it just hangs and will give a loading icon indefinitely, and it will never load. So not sure why that is. But again, for me, for whatever reason, I have not had that issue, and I don't seem to be having it in beta 7 or in previous versions of the betas. Okay, and then another glitch here is involving the SIM card. And for whatever reason in beta 7 has done something to certain devices, or certain iPhones, I should say, that have a SIM card in it, whether it be an eSIM or a physical SIM. What it's doing is it basically, something's going on and the SIM gets deactivated for whatever reason, and you end up dropping cell service, and your phone will basically not recognize the SIM card, and you might have to either restart your phone, do a full phone restore from scratch, or try to simply take the SIM card out and put it back in if you have a physical SIM. If you have an eSIM, you can't do that because there is no physical SIM to take out, unfortunately. But yeah, so that's kind of a major issue that absolutely needs to get fixed before the final release next month. So yeah, that's a big one that needs to be remedied very, very soon. Another thing here is just a little bit of a glitch again, and this one's again a bit of a major one, but isn't necessarily a huge concern, and there's no real security issues regarding it. But if you type this string of characters, the quote, colon, and if you add a fourth character after those three first characters, you can see it crashes the search menu that you are currently in. And this is Spotlight on this device I'm using. This is a second generation iPhone SE. And for whatever reason on this device, it crashes Spotlight. However, on other devices, you might find that it will crash the app library search bar. So if I go into here and type that same string of text, you can see it doesn't do anything. It just sits here and I can type as many characters as I want and nothing happens. So not sure why that is, and that it only on this device crashes Spotlight. And also on some devices, doing this can actually crash the entire device itself, and you'll go to a black screen, and the whole phone will effectively more or less restart itself. So it's not really great. So I would highly avoid typing that particular text string into those search fields until this gets remedied. Now, the weird thing too is that this glitch is present in both iOS 17 as well as iOS 18 beta, as well as also the iOS 18.1 betas currently that we have here also. So not great, but yeah. So that's basically it for this video. Make sure to hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. It really helps out the channel. And yeah, with that all being said, hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one.